Houston has decided the best way to reload in the transfer portal is to add a guy that already plays your brand of basketball. Delrico Gillespie, you are a Houston Cougar.
You are Locked On Coogs, your daily podcast on the Houston Cougars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Cougs, daily podcast about your Houston Cougars. I'm your first and only host of Locked On Cougs, Parker Ainsworth, here to break down all things Cougs. And this is a weekend bonus edition of Locked On Cougs. We get the biggest transfer portal signings Houston's making, including Delrico Gillespie out of Kent State. I want to talk some about Delrico today and a show that's a little bit bonus, and be a little different kind of format and things like that. I want to talk some about who he is, what he is, and how he fits, and all those kinds of fun things. Now, Delrico Gillespie feels like he was made in a lab for the Houston Cougars. He is listed 6'8", some places 6'9", others. He's probably somewhere in between. Clearly has a positive wingspan. I'm sure they'll get that measured when he shows up for summer workouts, get a more accurate measurement there. But his motor is almost immeasurable. They list him on here at, closer to 215, 220 pounds. And he's got longer, lankier feeling arms with a pretty strong base. This dude is an incredible athlete. He doesn't maybe look like one when he walks in the room. He's a big guy, though, at 6'8", 6'9", like we said. I think what's interesting here about looking at his background is he weirdly has ties to the Sampson coaching tree. The head coach at Kent State is Coach Sinderoff, who coached under Sampson at Indiana. He was like the lead assistant there for the 2 years that Sampson was at Indiana many moons ago. That relationship is there, and frankly, you see some of the ways that Sampson coaches his bigs and how Sinderoff has coached Delrico Gillespie. Now, I think the biggest thing is that he gets the right well in his hand, down low on the post. Gets the right hand well, gets the mic and shots and post shots and stuff like that. This right hand really finishes both hands, though. He just likes to go right. He's not particularly tricky or crafty, but he's really explosive and decisive. Most of his baskets, 62% of his points, come within a couple feet of the rim. He's also a pretty good free throw shooter at over 80%. And I think that all that pairs up for a pretty strong Houston Cougar big man. That's the offense side of things. I think Houston was looking for a lot of offensive production from inside that 5-foot area or so. Houston settled for a lot of jump shots, had the second furthest 2-point field goal, or it was the second furthest average distance of 2-point field goal last season, which is not great. I mean, shooting a lot of jump shots, not a lot of layups. This guy gets you the ball inside of 5 foot easily. And a big part of the way he does that is because he's a tremendous rebounder. Delrico Gillespie averaged 11.3 rebounds per game last season, and that was not just his. That was not just like his overall mark because he was playing in the MAC, whatever. He averaged over 10 the year prior. He also, for what it's worth, on the offense side of the glass specifically, make sure I got my numbers right here. Offensive rebounds specifically, he's averaging over 3 per game both seasons, last year and this year. He's relentless. He plays such an incredibly high pace and motor. Every rebound feels like his rebound. I was working on the coaching side of what I do. If you don't know, I'm a high school basketball coach by day. And I heard it put really well when talking to a big guy one time. It was like, look, every shot needs to feel like it's a pass to you that you just have to go get, right? You see it all the time where big guys are just like treating misses like assists and going to, sometimes you have a guard that takes a questionable shot because they trust that their offensive rebound is going to happen or whatever. This guy embodies that philosophy. Every shot feels like a pass to Delrico Gillespie because he clearly has that kind of an impact off the rim. And he has 11.3 rebounds per game. A couple games he had over 20 rebounds last year. I mean, he's really an incredible rebounder. I think one of the more important things he does sometimes is the tip outs, the tap outs, the tipping it off someone's leg. I mean, he's always making these winning plays. And what's awesome is like he kind of felt like a dime in the rough. We talked about him some last week when he was looking at Houston and it felt like a good fit then. And he commits to Houston, and you see this flurry of the internet go, "Oh my God, of course!" Oh, the field of 68s, the Ryan Hammers of the world, those big national brands that look at the, big big dollar school brands and logos or whatever, they see this kid commit to Houston, they're like, "Oh my god, they did it again." And that's kinda when you know you won one, right? That's kinda when you know that this thing worked out. Now, he was a guy that people wanted to transfer to the Power 4 last offseason, when he averaged almost 10 points per game along with those 10 rebounds per game. Again, a double-double guy in the MAC. He was all MAC defensive team and stuff like that. Be like, "Okay, he should probably go on up." But he got to play with his cousin, Rob Whaley, at Kent State last year, who transferred into Kent State. And family's a big deal. When you look at a couple of interviews he's got online with at Kent State, family's a big deal to Gillespie. He's from the Midwest, got to play in the Midwest. Lost his mother as a teenager, and family is a big deal for him and them. And getting to stay close to home with family, getting to play with his cousin, I think was all really important. And so I think that's why he didn't transfer out last year. But now, as a fifth year transfer, right? He's at the red shirt, so he's got to go play a fifth year somewhere. It's kind of your last opportunity. I don't know if Whaley will transfer out and go somewhere else or whatever. But I do know that this is kind of a big opportunity both from an NIL perspective to make some powerful NIL money for Delrico Gillespie, obviously, but also to showcase what you can do at the highest level possible. Last chance you have to do that. And frankly, if you can do that well at Houston, you can go make money playing after college as well somewhere. And so I think that's kind of why this felt like a got to go do a situation for him. I know that it did not take long once he got to campus, started visiting, and started enjoying things to get to know the staff and feel good about the staff. I think his impact, though, is going to be immediate. He's a fifth-year guy, right? So he's older, more veteran. For what it's worth, like he's older than JoJo Tugler, right? Like he is a guy that's been around college basketball for a minute now. He comes into Houston. This guy's going to make an impact right away. I think the quick, decisive offense will be important. I think a big jump in his personal game he made. I mentioned he stayed at Kent State from last year to this year is his offense as a junior or last year at Kent, 2 years ago at Kent State was a lot of putbacks and lob plays and this and that. They played through him a lot more, meaning throw the ball into him for quick post ups or drop steps or whatever. Not that he has a Hakeem Olajuwon type of bag down there, anything like that. They played through him a lot though this past season. He had 17 and a half or 17.7 points per game. That's a pretty big increase. And that's largely because he had a lot more field goals. They went to him a lot more intentionally. And he did have a couple of assists per game. And he was up to shooting 2 threes per game or 1.9 threes per game. And he could probably even increase that to over 2 assists and close to 3 threes per game or whatever. And I don't know that he needs to shoot threes to space the floor this year. Maybe it'll be nice to like make 1 or 2 to make them respect you out there, whatever, come cover you. But I'm not sure they need to throw a bunch of Juwan Roberts. Juwan Roberts is so good at the skip pass out of the low post. I don't know if he needs to throw more than 1 or 2 of those a game, right? Just keep defenses honest. But I really, really think that Houston's going to love having a consistent scoring threat down there. I think his fit with them is with Houston Cougars so clear. He just works, and he works in the like sense that he does not stop working when he's on the basketball floor. He's up and down, running relentlessly, jersey sweated through, dripping. You can ring it at soaking wet. That kind of a worker when he's on the basketball court. Again, touching the ball on every rebound, every loose ball, every floor burn, everything. But he just works in the sense that like his offensive game brings things that Houston needs down there. I really, really like how quick I've mentioned this several times, how quick he is in making decisions down the post. That implies a thought process before he catches the ball. I also think that's the kind of thing that will stretch into Houston's front court. Big question is, does he start? Does he come off the bench, etc.? You obviously bring in 5-star number 1 center in America, freshman Arafan Diane, who measured in at 7 foot even, 303 pounds at the Nike World Hoop Summit. I'd imagine a big part of whether or not Delrico Gillespie starts is what kind of shape Arafan Diane comes in as a Houston Cougar. He had a pretty elite level of physical and physical shape to play for the Cougs. JoJo Tugler will be obviously in that kind of shape. They've talked about playing Chase McCarty at more of a small forward, a wing role. And so that kind of leaves this power forward question. Is it going to be Arafan and playing 2 centers? Is it going to be more of this Gillespie type? I would not be surprised if that starts one way and changes throughout the season, or if it's fluid, or if frankly it doesn't matter because Arafan and JoJo and Delrico and whoever else they add all play a lot of minutes. Sampson mentioned his press availability last week. He wanted to get four playable, four starting caliber big guys on the roster. I'd say right now, looks like we already have three of them. Excited about this, excited about the Cougs, excited about what it means for Houston. I can't wait to break down more for you later. But first, today's show is brought to you by our buddies over at Wayfair, because Wayday is here. If you've been thinking about upgrading your space, this is the time to do it. Time at some of the best deals in your furniture, decor, homes, outdoor essentials, anything to refresh your home. Easy to filter by size, style, price. When you get a house, you got to fill it up with something new every season. It feels like they've got it all there for your views and photos of you feel confident what you're getting. Upgrading a room, adding outdoor spaces, just finding something that ties everything together. Wayfair's got it all. Wayday is the sale to shop for the best deals in home, taking up to 80% off. Up to 80% off. Fast and free shipping on everything. Head to wayfair.com April 25th through the 27th to shop Wayday. It's Wayfair, WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Park Rangers Locked On Coogs here, reminding you guys about the Everydayer program, lockedonpodcast.com/everyday for more information. There's a Discord server to talk to us about. I've been texting people in that as well if they have questions, comments, concerns about the transfer portal. Saturday morning was a lot of madness. I think we'll probably drop some all access content on there to kind of break that down as well, because there was a lot of stuff happening on Saturday morning. Some behind the scenes stuff there as far as who's going where and all that. But Delrico Gillespie comes to Houston, and for Monday's episode, we'll talk some about how he fits in more with this team and looking at a lot of different things. Initially, once you get some more video breakdown, Kent State video can be hard to find full games of, but you're looking for more like big games of his to see. They knocked off the undefeated Miami of Ohio last season. At that point, undefeated in the first round, or I think it was the first round of the conference tournament there in the MAC. He had 27 points and 8 rebounds, 3 steals, but a ton of great defense in that game. He also, I think it was earlier last season, like in like December, winter time last season, he had a 20-point, 20 rebound game. So make sure, or 18-point, 20 rebound game. So make sure you check that one out. It felt like he had every missed shot in that game. I watched some more video between now and Monday to get more out to you, but those are a couple games worth checking out. Big time player that already fits, and it's so nice to see. Locked On Coogs, primarily Locked On podcast. I mean, your team every day, and Delrico Gillespie's team now every day. Go Coogs.